All right. Believe it or not, we all went. This is why that extra 15 minutes, you wouldn't believe how important it is for the difference between cutting everybody off early and having just enough spaciousness. Hopefully, you observed some of the things that I observed, or maybe I should just speak for myself. I just am so grateful to each of you for the generosity of spirit with which you would share such precious and important things. I'm grateful to everyone for the space holding and attention for one another. I am always in awe of the power of this kind of storytelling to humanize everybody and make me understand where they are in their journey and feel empathy and compassion and love and some quality of this combination of grief, awe, and laughter. Those feel like the ultimate combination to feel. It's very different. Grief is actually active versus disassociation or avoidance, or grief is like a great, put that on the life spectrum and move it right along. So I so appreciate that. I want to point out what we did. This is just something amazing. I have now been teaching this sort of craft for over 3 years and hosted dozens and dozens of different workshops and gatherings. And there's something about the alchemy of who's in the room and what is said that stirs up, like I just call it silver and gold. I like to talk about the lake of now. You scoop the muck from the bottom of the lake of now, and up swirls the muck cloud, and then you're looking in it, and these little things are shining, silver and gold. And in the work I do, that's what we take and pile on the shore. We get curious. What is that? Why did that woman standing that way after her child did that thing? Why did that move me so much? And that's where this pole work, the polarity comes into play. We ultimately are most moved by the things that represent places we've been wounded, because that is where our great strength and gifts are. And so to go explore where those things wound us gives emotional weight and power to the story that we tell. And so, in a really simple structure, because I hope for each of you to have something meaningful to take away from this short time together, is that you have this opportunity to go practice this exact story, this story that is essentially two scenes, right? The scene of the suffering that you've shared with us and the scene of the second thing. The more vivid, the better. That's the simplest articulation. Think of the tauntaun slicing, the C-section, the smell. Like the moments carry the most charge. And when we know the stakes for you, then it's all the better. So a lot of times in our storytelling, we feel obligated to give a lot of context, like I was 18, I had traveled to Yosemite, I was in this EMT program, we were staying with all these people, and it's like the fireplace is like just going down, down, right? Versus like I'm standing there as the man reaches his hand into the lung, and you're like, holy shit, like I am gone. I'm inside of that. That's the magic. It's this transporting, profound, alchemical, primordial magic, and unfortunately, it's mostly controlled by corporations using that fact that will merge with great stories to shape our values and sell us things. So this is sacred storytelling in shifting times. It's bringing to the foreground the incredible, brave, griefful, awful, laughterful humanity of yours and offering it as a gift or jewel for others. So as we start to wrap, what I want you to think about is essentially that you have exposed to yourself something precious and alive right now. That you can just trust that when you scooped the muck, why that story, why that flash of insight, why that person, there's something alive in this current right now. And one way to deal with it that is so powerful is to just very simply write these bullet points, this moment, right? I arrive back home to live with dad. This moment, like dad and I have conflict about community. This moment, dad says what he says about my husband. Like there are just so many, and it's not that many. It's like 7 bullet points here, and they make up the core of what you've just shared. About three or so for one side, about three or so for the other side. Together, that is a tale of personal transformation. It's the story of going from I can't trust men to I watch the man like whisper the rattlesnake away and share compassion for the uninitiated man who almost killed it. It's not that that's just a good story. It's that that story mattered a lot to Christiana, right? It mattered to her. And then you say, why? because maybe 10,000 things happened at that retreat, but that one stuck. Why? So there's this way that the path reveals in front of us like that. And really all we're doing is unclenching, trusting, and walking forward.